The 2025 Atlanta Falcons may have failed to make the playoffs, but the evolution of the defense under new defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich is enough to build optimism in the fan base. So today, we are going to look back at the highlights from last season and reflect on the players in the Falcons' front seven defense. We begin our reflection with second-year defensive tackle, Brandon Dorlus. Dorlus was drafted 104th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft and claimed the starting job in 2025. He is 6 foot 3 inches tall and weighs in at 295 pounds. Dorlus is a legitimate interior pass rushing threat. He took a huge leap in year 2 as he finished the 2025 season with 8.5 sacks and 11 tackles for loss. His energy and effort have made him a fan favorite. Dorlus' 8.5 sacks tied him for 16th in the NFL in total sacks. He played in 48% of the snaps in 2025. He's regularly getting into the backfield against the run and creating negative plays. He ranked number 1 in the NFL in sacks by a defensive tackle. He is currently on a 4-year, $4.84 million contract. He is signed through the 2027 season. Dorlus's 2025 emergence gives the Falcons a young, disruptive interior presence that complements the team's strong pass rush from the edges. In Week 17, he hyperextended his knee, ending his season with a strained hamstring. The prognosis was a minor injury, a relief to fans everywhere. Next up is defensive tackle David Onyemata. Onyemata joined the Falcons in 2023 after signing a 3-year, $35 million contract to start at defensive tackle in Atlanta. Before joining Atlanta, Onyemata spent 7 seasons with the New Orleans Saints. He played in 57% of the snaps in 2025. He restructured in 2024, creating cap space for the team. Under this deal, he becomes a free agent in 2026. In 2025, he amassed 1 sack and 9.5 tackles for loss. While his individual sack total was modest in 2025, Onyemata's presence still matters. He occupies double teams at times, enabling edge rushers and linebackers to make plays, provides gap integrity, and adds leadership in the trenches. It would be beneficial to bring him back. However, at 33 years old, odds are low he will be re-signed. Next up is edge rusher Arnold Ebiketie. Ebiketie was selected number 38 overall by Atlanta in 2022. His 4-year, $9.69 million contract ends in 2026. The Falcons' 2025 draft rendered him expendable. Their selection of 2 edge rushers in the first round pressured him to perform in 2025. His performance was pretty lackluster. He ended the 2025 season with 2 sacks and 1 pass deflection. While these aren't eye-popping numbers compared to elite pass rushers, they show he remained a contributor in the Falcons' defensive rotation. He played only 35% of the snaps in 2025. Based on available free agents in 2026, he will likely either sign a 1-year contract for around $5 million to stay with the team, or land a 3- or 4-year contract in the range of $4 to $6 million per year with another team. As a fan favorite, he will be missed by Falcons fans because odds are high he will test the free agent market. Next on our list is edge rusher Leonard Floyd. Floyd signed a one-year, $10 million deal in 2025, shortly after being released by the San Francisco 49ers. Floyd ended 2025 with 3.5 sacks and 7 tackles for loss. He played in 49% of the snaps in 2025. Floyd's production decline in 2025 isn't from a single cause. It's the natural effect of age, reduced snaps, changing role in the defense. Atlanta used multiple fronts and disguised pressures, which sometimes had Floyd dropping into coverage or setting the edge against the run rather than rushing the QB. Floyd was a great mentor for the young talent the Falcons have drafted over the past 2 seasons. Due to their increased playing time, coupled with Floyd's changing role as an outside linebacker, the staff progressively reduced Floyd's role to usher in the recently drafted talent at edge. Floyd will be 33 years old when the 2026 season begins, setting him up for a short-term contract in Atlanta or elsewhere. With a new head coach and general manager in Atlanta, the odds are that Floyd will either sign a cap-friendly deal to stay on to mentor the young talent in Flowery Branch or try his luck in the open market. Either way, he will not spend a lot of time on the field and become depth for the Falcons or another team. Next up is second-year player Rook Orororo. Rook was the number 35 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Rook stepped into a larger role in 2025 after a more limited rookie season. He amassed 3.5 sacks with 2 passes defensed and 6 stubs. He played backup to breakout star Brandon Dorlus and could be in line to replace veteran David Onyemata if he isn't re-signed. He played in 54% of the snaps in 2025. His 6 feet 4 inches frame could gain 20 pounds in 2026 to move to under tackle, making him a much-needed anchor in the middle. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich installed a scheme that allowed him to play more aggressively upfield, a style he's comfortable with from his playing days at Clemson. His relentless style and long arms create a problem when he's not double-teamed. But with the emergence of tackle Brandon Dorlus, it means he will likely be backup depth unless he moves over to fill the spot that could become available if the team doesn't re-sign veteran David Onyemata. Either way, he has shown he can play in this league and will be a fixture for years to come in Atlanta. Plus, it's always entertaining to hear TV analysts try to pronounce his name. Next up is edge rusher Zach Harrison. Harrison was the 75th overall selection in the 2023 NFL Draft. He injured his knee in Week 8 against the Colts. He was placed on injured reserve in Week 10, ending his season. He amassed 4.5 sacks in 7 games prior to that. At the time of his injury, he led the team in sacks. He played in 57% of the snaps in 2025. A force at the end position, he is critical to the Falcons' defensive line in 2026. His run-stopping ability is an asset to the team going into the 2026 season. Next up is rookie edge rusher Jalen Walker. Walker was the number 15 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. He ended the season with 5.5 sacks. He also had 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and 3 tackles for loss. He played only 51% of the snaps in 2025. Walker is a versatile defender who played both off-ball linebacker and edge. He has the ability to play any position in the front seven. Walker's versatility allows the Falcons to disguise pressures and mix linebacker/edge concepts, which can confuse offensive lines and help the entire defense. Look for him to be moved around in 2026, using his speed and pursuit to greater results. Walker managed 5.5 sacks in 2025 and will solidify a starting job in 2026. Next up, James Pierce Jr. Pierce was selected number 26 in the 2025 draft. Atlanta traded their first-round pick in 2026 to select him number 26 overall in 2025. Pierce had a stellar season in 2025. He amassed a Falcons rookie record of 10.5 sacks. Couple that with his one forced fumble and fumble recovery, and you see the all-pro potential. He landed 5.5 sacks in the final 5 games of the season. Pierce's emergence changed the complexion of Atlanta's defense. His presence forced offenses to account for him on every snap. He played 54% of the snaps on the season. As former Falcons defensive end, John Abraham stated about him, he needs to demand to be a 3-down edge rusher and secure the leadership on the defensive line. 3.5 of his 10.5 sacks came against Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck, making him a fan favorite instantly. Because the Saints! His 10.5 sacks landed him 14th in the NFL and 7th in the NFC, landing him as a top 5 finalist for the 2025 Defensive Rookie of the Year honor, alongside teammate and safety Xavier Watts for the award. Only 37 rookies in NFL history have landed more than 10 sacks in their rookie season, the most recent being Micah Parsons in 2021. Like most rookies, Pierce still has room to grow, refining his run defense, adding strength, and continuing to develop secondary pass rush moves will determine whether he becomes merely very good or truly elite. The encouraging part is that his rookie tape already shows a player trending sharply upward. Paired with fellow rookie Jalen Walker, the Falcons' defense is solidifying a dynamic duo. Pierce didn't just flash potential in 2025. He announced himself as a cornerstone player. If his rookie year is any indication, the Falcons may have found their premier pass rusher for the next decade. Next up, defensive end LaCale London. London signed a 1-year, $960,000 contract in 2025, making him an unrestricted free agent in 2026. He ended the season with 5 sacks and a backup role. He played in 13 games, also registering a forced fumble and a pass deflection. London only played 32% of the snaps in 2025. London primarily operated as a depth and rotational defensive lineman, seeing snaps in run-heavy situations and select interior pass rush packages. His role was not designed for high sack totals, but rather for physicality, leverage, and assignment soundness in the trenches. However, his 5 sacks landed him 4th on the team in production. I would expect Atlanta to try and give him a multi-year deal this offseason. We move now to defensive end, Kentavious Street. Street ended the season with 2 sacks, a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. He played in 7 games, securing 45% of the defensive snaps as a replacement for injured edge rusher Zach Harrison. He signed a 1-year, $1.17 million contract for 2025. He will be an unrestricted free agent in 2026. Next up is middle linebacker Caden Ellis. Ellis is currently playing on the final year of a 3-year, $21.5 million contract he signed with the Atlanta Falcons in March 2023. Ellis ended the season with 107 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 6 pass deflections, and an interception. In 2024, he became the only player in Falcons history with 100-plus tackles, 5-plus sacks, and an interception in a single season. He played in 100% of the snap counts in 2025. In his 3 seasons in Atlanta, he's played in 98% of all the defensive plays. His hybrid skill set has helped the Falcons scheme more complex fronts and disguise pressures, a rare and valuable trait. He can drop into coverage, defend passes, and even blitz effectively. Ellis could be in the market for a deal in the $8 million to $12 million per year range. Look for Atlanta to offer somewhere in the 3-year, $30 million range per year with $25 million guarantee. If Ellis hits the open market without a long-term deal, demand could drive his price up, particularly from teams needing a steady defensive leader. Beyond the stat sheet, Ellis's leadership stood out the most. With a defense that leaned younger, especially along the defensive line, Ellis was a vocal presence, helping get players lined up correctly and keeping communication clean pre-snap. His effort level and physicality also set the tone for the unit. He wasn't just productive, he was dependable, versatile, and essential to the defense's structure. I consider his re-signing a priority in 2026. Next up is middle linebacker Divine Deablo. Deablo signed a 2-year, $14 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons in March 2025, which included $7.66 million in guarantees. Deablo has quickly become one of the core playmakers on Atlanta's defense. Deablo's 6'3" frame, coupled with his 4.4 speed, made him pivotal in coverage and zone blitzing schemes. Due to injury, he missed 4 games in 2025, all of which resulted in a loss, highlighting his dominance on the defense. With Deablo in the lineup, the Falcons' defense averaged 21 points per game. Without him, it averaged 29 points per game. That's a swing of 2 scores allowed without him in the lineup. He ended the season with 73 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 7 pass deflections, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovery, as well as a sack on Bucs QB Baker Mayfield in his Falcons debut. He played in 93% of the snaps on defense last season when healthy. In modern NFL schemes, linebackers who can cover athletic tight ends and running backs are extremely valuable. Deablo's range and ball skills help the Falcons limit big completions over the middle, a critical part of Atlanta's defensive strategy. Deablo registered over 600 snaps on defense, allowing only 123 yards on 17 receptions and a passer rating below 78, making him the best pass defending linebacker in the NFL. Quarterbacks avoided challenging Deablo in 2025. With the return of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, look for Deablo to be the backbone of the Falcons scheme in 2026. Next up, middle linebacker J.D. Bertrand. Bertrand started 4 games in the absence of Divine Deablo, and he sucked. Nicknamed Captain America, we can only assume they meant the captain after Steve Rogers retired, who just whines, and his only power is virtue signaling.
You've got to do better.
In his 2 games started, he allowed 12 catches on 16 targets for 150 yards and a touchdown. He was so bad that Falcons coaches put in safety Ronnie Harrison to replace him. He managed 35 tackles, most coming on special teams, with 2 pass deflections and a tackle for loss. He is signed through the 2027 season. God help us. Next up is middle linebacker / safety Ronnie Harrison. Harrison moved to linebacker in 2025 to replace the previously mentioned J.D. Bertrand after a dismal performance. He played admirably, landing 29 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 pass deflections. He came to Atlanta on a 1-year deal for $1.2 million, making him a free agent in 2026. From 2020 to 2022, Harrison played under new Falcons coach Kevin Stefanski. With absolutely no depth at middle linebacker, expect the Falcons to bring Harrison back on a team-friendly deal in 2026. Next up, cornerback A.J. Terrell. Terrell signed a 4-year, $81 million contract extension with the Atlanta Falcons in August 2024, keeping him with the team through 2028. In 15 regular season games in 2025, Terrell posted 68 tackles, 12 passes defensed, and forced 2 fumbles. However, he failed to secure an interception that wasn't called back due to a penalty. AJ's presence stabilizes Atlanta's defensive backfield. He often shadows the opponent's best receiver, enabling the Falcons to allocate other coverages and blitzes without worrying as much about his side being exposed. He did suffer a minor injury in Week 2 against the Vikings, but shook it off to finish the season strong. He played in 97% of the snaps in 2025. Under defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, Terrell blitzed more than he had in past seasons, utilizing a talent not often seen in the past. And his amazing defense against Los Angeles receiver Puka Nacua saved the Falcons' win in Week 17 against the red-hot Rams. Terrell was also recognized off the field as the Falcons' nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. He will remain a linchpin in the Falcons' secondary in 2026. Next up, cornerback Dee Alford. Alford re-signed with the Falcons on a 1-year deal in April 2025. He ended the season with 64 total tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 sacks, 13 passes defended, and 1 forced fumble. He was originally replaced to begin the season by rookie nickelback Billy Bowman Jr. But after Bowman was injured, Alford came in like a man fighting to stay in the NFL. He was the most targeted nickelback in the NFL, allowing 69 receptions on 92 targets, a 75% completion rate for opposing quarterbacks. But over the last 4 weeks of the season, a light went on. Alford had 2 interceptions, 4 pass deflections, 18 tackles, and 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. And his late-game saving interception against Tampa in Week 18 helped the Falcons tie the Bucs in the 4th quarter. Alford ranked 14th among all cornerbacks with 13 passes defended, a strong showing for someone playing significant slot/nickel snaps. Re-signing Alford could be pricey. Best case scenario is a 3-year, $12 million deal with $5 million guaranteed. And with the return of Bowman, I don't see Atlanta forking out that type of contract. So the odds are pretty strong that Alford will end up on another team in 2026. But I do believe that all Falcons fans can pay their respect for the undrafted 2020 prospect that we watched grow into a decent NFL player. Up next, cornerback Mike Hughes. Hughes, the former first-round pick in 2018 by the Vikings, signed a 3-year, $18 million contract with Atlanta in 2025. Hughes has never been considered a top-tier lockdown corner, and in 2025, his numbers reflected that, good but not elite. He ended the season with 51 tackles, 7 passes defensed, and 1 interception, putting him below the top 100 corners in the NFL. Hughes missed the final games of the season after being placed on injured reserve with an ankle issue, which limited his overall snap total and counting stats. He played in 91% of the defensive snaps. Due to his underperformance, the Falcons will look to shore up the position opposite A.J. Terrell. Due to his severe cap hit, he will likely remain on the roster in 2026. But don't be surprised if Atlanta either drafts or signs a free agent player to challenge Hughes for the starting spot in 2026. Next up, nickelback Billy Bowman Jr. Drafted in the 4th round by the Falcons in 2025, Bowman came in and won the starting nickelback position in training camp. Bowman's season was cut short after 6 games due to a torn Achilles tendon suffered in practice. Prior to his injury, Bowman amassed 26 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 1.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception. The future was looking bright for the young talent, and his contributions to the defense will be pivotal moving forward. Bowman played in 80% of the defensive snaps. If Bowman returns fully healthy in 2026, his early flashes, ball skills, versatility, and physical play could make him a core defensive back piece in the Falcons secondary for years to come. Next up, Jessie Bates III. Bates is the anchor of Atlanta's defensive backfield, a leader both on and off the field. He communicates coverages, aligns teammates in zone shells, and adjusts the back end based on pre-snap reads. He ended the 2025 season with 98 tackles, 3 interceptions, 6 passes defensed, and 1 forced fumble. His pick 6 against the Rams in Week 17 helped seal the victory. He played in 99% of the defensive snaps in 2025. Heading into the 2025 season, Bates was ranked number 92 on the NFL Top 100 Players list. Bates remains one of Atlanta's most important defensive pieces, both on the field and in the locker room. He serves as the quarterback of the secondary, responsible for communication, alignment, and adjustments. His return is pivotal to a young, improving defense. Next up, safety Xavier Watts. Watts entered the NFL as a 3rd-round pick by the Falcons in 2025 and became an impact starter in the Falcons secondary instantly. Playing all 17 games, Watts amassed 96 tackles, 5 interceptions, 11 passes defensed, and a fumble recovery. He led all rookies with 5 interceptions in his debut season, tying an important franchise mark, which has tied him for 2nd in the NFL. He earned NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month honors in September, proof that he contributed right from the start. Watts didn't just exceed expectations as a 3rd-round rookie. He became a pivotal piece of the Falcons' defense. He played in 99% of the defensive snaps. Even with strong play from vets like Jessie Bates III, Watts quickly became a cornerstone young talent in the secondary, someone the Falcons can build around long term. His instincts, ball skills, and tackling give Atlanta flexibility in how they scheme and cover offenses. The future is bright at safety in Atlanta. Closing us out today, cornerback Kobe Bryant. Bryant joined the team in 2025 as an undrafted free agent after a very productive college career at Kansas. He appeared in 7 games and made 1 start, but struggled greatly at the NFL level. Bryant did not initially make the 53-man roster, but he returned before the season began on the Falcons practice squad. Due to injuries in the secondary, he was elevated to the active roster in November. But he struggled in coverage. He was in position most times, but still failed to make the play on the ball. With more reps in training camp, Bryant could be a solid rotational corner for a team in dire need of help opposite veteran A.J. Terrell. His slender frame makes him a liability at the line of scrimmage. Adding a few pounds would help him avoid future injuries. Only time will tell if this raw talent can make the 53-man roster in 2026. Keep an eye out for our offense review coming soon.